Hello YouTube and welcome to Full Dottle, a channel dedicated to tamping topics such as pipes, tobacco, lore, and more. I am your host, the Bearded Briarman, and without further ado, let's get lit. Welcome back everyone, and on this episode of Full Dottle, I'm going to be giving my full review of Cornell Diehl's Old Joe Krantz. But first, a little housekeeping. I am smoking my 7LE673KS rusticated aroma lucite. This is also known as the Friday 7LE, and in it, obviously, I've got some Old Joe Krantz. So this is a Burley-based blend, and from what I can gather from it, it's more dark Burleys than white Burleys. The tin aroma, the Perique stands out with a very earthy, boggy, musty type of tartness, and the dark Burleys and red Virginias offer a pleasant bread and nuttiness with hints of cocoa coming through. For this reason, I give it a 2.5. On sufficiently dry, this blend is ready to smoke right out of the tin and could possibly benefit from a quick rehydration. And for this reason, I gave it a 5. For fruity, nutty, and woody, the dark Burley is the dominant component in this blend and offers a very nutty and woody smoke. The Brazil nut type flavor is accentuated by a tannic mouthfeel reminiscent of what you would find in a black walnut. The woody notes are more oaky and robust than what you would find in a fragrant wood, and for this reason, I gave it a 3. On spice, the Perique and dark Burley offers spice in buckets. This blend is only for the pipers who prefer a very sharp dark Burley and abundant spice from Perique. Together, they dominate any other characteristics, and for this reason, I gave it a 2. On tang, the red Virginia doesn't offer much, but it is noticeable at times with a very delicate rye bread and toasted oats, and for this reason, I gave it a 2. On sweetness, this blend offers virtually no sweetness, and instead lends itself to a very dry, woody, nutty, and earthy smoke, and for this reason, I gave it a 1.5. On depth, although this blend is a very in-your-face, straightforward blend, it does have sufficient depth to keep a discerning piper interested. The dark Burley offers deep, rich, woody, and nutty flavors that don't shy away. The Perique is included in high enough quantity that it presents its licorice, mint, and boggy mineral qualities, and the red Virginia comes through with a slight tangy rye. For this reason, I gave it a 4. On complexity, despite being one of the spiciest blends I have tried, this blend displays all of its layers throughout the smoke, and for this reason, I gave it a 4. On balance, this is obviously a dark Burley base that demands almost every ounce of your attention. The dark Burley allows the other components to reveal their flavors, but only at its bequest rather than equitable right. For this reason, I gave it a 2.5. On smoothness, this blend is not a smooth blend, nor does it desire to be. In the pipe tobacco world, this blend is the one other blends call when all diplomatic means have failed. In warfare, this blend would be the shock and awe campaign, and for this reason, I gave it a 1.5. On the high point, though a very strong tobacco, I enjoyed the depth of the dark Burley. This blend is great after a meal when you need to have a full experience to subdue the vitamin N craving. And for this reason, I gave it a 2.5. On the low point, the strength of this blend is intimidating, to put it mildly. I think this is a blend suited for a small bowl style that doesn't require much time. I could easily be overwhelmed with the power of Mr. Krantz, and for this reason, I gave it a 1.5. On burns cool, this blend burns quick and benefits from a soft, moderately slow cadence, but if smoked as such, won't get too hot, and for this reason, I gave it a 5. This blend got a total score of 37 out of 65 and a recommendation rating of 57%. All in all, this blend is a decent blend. It's not for the faint of heart. I would say that it is for an experienced smoker that knows a little bit more about dark burleys and Periques than the beginner. It is a very robust blend. This blend is going to have knock your socks off spiciness. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but if you're not prepared for it, it's going to really take you for a loop. The vitamin N in it is absolutely amazing. I get just a little bit of a taste of the vitamin N, which is difficult for me because I have a high tolerance toward nicotine. And that is why I say this blend I think would be very, very good after a meal. What I tended to do was after my daughter and I would eat supper, and since my daughter was here, I generally don't sit down to have a full bowl. I smoke one pipe when she's here during her waking hours, and that way I don't take too much time away from her. So what I would do is I would take my smaller Zulu style pipe, and when I was running my Rottweiler, that's when I would load it with some Old Joe Krantz. It gave me a 15 to 20 minute smoke, and it hit all the right buttons for me. So take that for what you will. I think it's a pretty good blend, but it is rather strong for those that aren't prepared for it. Anyway, everybody, that's going to do it for this episode of Full Dottle. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up. And until the next time we see each other, I bid you farewell and happy piping. Bye, everyone. Have you enlisted in the Full Dottle platoon yet? It's easy. Just click the subscribe button. Also, hit the bell icon to be notified as soon as I upload the next episode.